you couldn't get into your own house. Tell me, that college education I paid for, did it do you any good?
Of course. I mean, it allowed me to perfect the skills of writing papers on the resurgence of Depression-era policies, while simultaneously getting 3 hours of sleep a night. It's a difficult skill to master and requires practice.
Oh, charming, though I was thinking more along the lines of getting into your own house.
Well, technically it's your house, not mine, and those neighbors tend to frown upon some random kid poking around your house where you're just a little bit in the hospital.
I don't think one can be just a little bit in the hospital. I mean, you're either in the hospital or you're not. Not a whole lot of gray area to be had. So, you really didn't get me anything from home, huh?
There was nothing I could do. I thought of every possible realistic way, short of breaking down the door.
Honey, don't take this the wrong way, but you are 5'4" and 110 pounds. I would hardly call you breaking down the door a realistic possibility.
I'm not some weakling. I played lacrosse in high school.
Oh, please, you were the goalie. Your main job was to stand there and hope nothing got past you. In the real world, you would be a traffic cone.
Okay, point taken. Well, aside from going through the door, the only other option would have been to go through a window. And if Mr. Haggart saw me crawling through the window of his hospitalized neighbor's house, do you know what would happen to me?
You know what? Whatever you say. Doesn't really matter, and I didn't really call you here to bring me things from home anyway.
Yeah, I've been meaning to ask. Why did you call? On the phone you said it was urgent, but the nurse said you're only in here for some routine tests. Did anything show up?
Well, you might want to stay seated for this.
Okay, kind of freaking me out. What's going on?
Well, honey, I called you here because,
Yes?
well, you see, the reason why I called you here was,
Yes?
I'm ready.
You're ready.
I'm ready.
Ready to rumble? Or...
I'm talking about dying. I'm saying that I'm ready to go, you know, that I want to go. Pull the plug, honey, send me home.
I'm sorry, you want me to do what?
I want you to pull the plug.
Have you been taking your meds?
Oh, good Lord.
No, seriously, have you been taking your calcium medicine?
Yes.
Okay, what about the heart medicine?
Yes, I've also been eating my vegetables and drinking out of my big sippy cup of milk every day. I mean, I've been taking my heart medicine and my calcium medicine and that medicine from the chiropractor. I mean, I've been taking everything I'm supposed to take and I've been doing everything I'm supposed to do.
Well, clearly something's happening that isn't supposed to happen.
And now I know this is all unfolding really fast, but I just need you to do this one thing. I just need you to pull the plug.
You need me to...
That's right, honey. I just need you to pull that plug.
Just pull that plug, huh?
Just pull the plug.
Well, that plug connects to the lamp. So you want me to unplug the lamp?
No, I do not want you to unplug the lamp.
Are you sure? Because the brightness, I'm beginning to think that the brightness in here is making you crazy.
Oh, all right, now calm down. There's no reason to get testy.
My mom just suggests that she kill herself, so if there even is like such a thing as a time to get testy, it's now.
First things first, I never suggested that I kill myself. I suggested that you do it for me.
What? Are you even,
Honey, just to make sure there are ends to these sentences, right?
I just don't understand. I don't understand this at all.
I'm dying. Okay, I'm dying from living.
Poetical as that may be, I was talking about it actually dying.
Well, actually, the human body only grows and matures up to a certain point, and then, upon reaching that point, it begins this downward spiral of, physical and subsequent...
Why? Why do you want this? You're perfectly happy. Or at least when we talked on the phone a couple of weeks ago, you said you were perfectly happy.
It was a couple of months ago, and I was lying.
What?
The last time we talked on the phone wasn't a couple of weeks ago, it was a couple of months ago. 3.5 months ago, to be exact. And the last time we talked before that was 8 months ago, so...
Is that honestly why you're mad?
I'm not mad.
But...
I'm not mad, okay? And I'm not crazy, and I'm not depressed. I just... Do you ever get this feeling where you are just empty? I mean, so empty that you don't even care. So you just sit there and you wallow in that emptiness day after day, night after night, until it just becomes everything. You ever get that feeling?
I suppose so, but I don't like to think about it.
Neither do I, but I do. I mean, I think about it all the time, and I just want out, and there's nothing else I can do.
Well, I suppose you haven't considered developing a hobby.
Yeah, you're right, because I'm sure if I picked up, knitting, that all of this would get fixed, because I'm a 98-year-old woman.
I'm not saying you should take up knitting.
Well, then what?
I don't know anything. Cooking, power walking, online poker.
Online poker?
Sure. I mean, you hear those stories of creepy old men trolling the internet. That could be you.
Wait, when did I stop being a real woman and become a creepy old woman?
I'm sorry. I was making a joke.
Do you think this is a time to make a joke?
Well, I sure hope so, because if this is a time for seriousness, then I'm scared.
Honey, this is a time for seriousness.
Then I'm scared.
I am too.
Look, this is my fault, and I should have called. Hell, I should have visited, and we could have avoided this mess altogether.
No, this isn't your fault.
But it is. It is.
No, it isn't. Okay, look, you aren't the one to blame, and I don't blame you for a second. I mean, look at me. I live in a silent house that was once vibrant with my family's laughter, and then the days I used to spend working are now just spent wasting away. And the man that I love more than anything and everything in this world is now only alive in faded photographs and memories. So look at me. You know what you'll see? You'll see a broken woman too worn down to put herself back together. So please, honey, just end it. I mean, look at me and look at my face and see that I can't go on.
I'm not going to kill you.
Honey, look at me. I'm a sick old woman.
I am looking, and yes, I do see a sick old woman feeling all of the pain and hardship that she's been subjected to, but I'm not going to kill you. Because I see past that, and underneath that sick old woman is my mother. I see the woman who taught me and refused to give up hope and bought me a lacrosse stick. I see the woman who would come home from work late at night, and no matter how exhausted she was, would walk into my bedroom and give me a kiss on the forehead. I see the woman that my father loved and still loves from a better place. I see my mom. I see the one person in this world who I can't live without. And so apparently you're prepared to die today. Well, unfortunately, I'm not prepared to let you. And if I have to move back home and spend every waking hour with you to ensure that you stay with me, then I will. I love you, Mom, and I'm not letting you go.
You do realize that I am going to have to die someday, right?
But not today.
No, not today. And don't worry, I'm not gonna make you move back home.
Don't worry, Mom. I'm going to call you every single day just to see how it's going. And if you ever feel lonely, you can call me. Or even Mr. Haggart.
Oh, to hell with Mr. Haggart. I mean, you were right to be weirded out. That man could scare the crap out of an outhouse.
Well, I'm gonna go run down to the cafeteria and grab us something to eat. Are you sure you'll be all right?
I'll be fine. Besides, now that I think of it, if I made my way up to the pearly gates before seeing my grandchildren, your father would send me right back down to earth.
I bet he would. He knows that I can't raise any children of my own without some form of guidance.
Oh, I don't know about that one. I mean, I found a way to do it, and it ended up better than I could have ever imagined.
I think I'm up to the task.
Me too.
Besides, I'm sure the story of how I almost murdered Grandma would be a hit at bedtime. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go scrounge us up some grub. Well, there is this one thing, though. Why did you call me?
What?
Well, it occurred to me that when someone wants to end it all, they don't call their kids to come up and do it for them.
Well, maybe I'm a wuss. Or maybe I just needed someone that I loved to pull me back from the ledge.
Well, either way, I'm glad you called me. Now, I'll be right back.
Honey, wait.
Yes?
Thank you.
That's just what daughters do for their mothers. And mothers do for their daughters. I love you, Mom. I really do.
I love you too. More than you will ever know.